All right, everybody, welcome back into the Auburn Live Show. Appreciate everybody for joining us. Make sure you go to auburnlive.com and subscribe, part of the On3 Sports Network. Go to auburnlive.com and subscribe, and go to the YouTube channel and join us there. Turn your notifications on and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, so when new interviews and videos go up, you are aware. All right, let's just jump into a special edition of the Auburn Live Show with one of Auburn's newest transfer portal signees, Indiana defensive lineman Phil Blidi. Phil, what is happening, man?
Man, a lot of great things, man. I'm finally excited that I've committed to Auburn, and there's a lot of great things going on for this program, man. It's a lot of exciting things going on, and I'm ready to get to work with the team and really getting to experience this atmosphere. I've heard a lot of great things about it, and I'm really excited to get to experience it.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. Let's just jump right into it. Wow, Auburn. Who kind of recruited you to Auburn, and what do they expect you to sort of contribute? Where do you think you'll play along the defensive
Okay.
line? What are they telling you? What are your expectations? All that good stuff.
Man, the question is why not Auburn? You know, when they started recruiting me, it was really Coach V and me and Coach V got to build that relationship over time, and it was really like getting the visit scheduled, and just getting to know more about the program and like the defense and who was coming in, like what the plan kind of was, and really since I've gotten to know him and gotten to know Coach Freeze and gotten to know Coach Dirk, everybody on the staff, it's been amazing, Something that really intrigues me about them is I love that they're really a family staff. They really care about their guys. Because in this profession now, like especially how things are nowadays, there's less and less staffs that are really like that. That really care about the player outside of the business part of it. I really love that part of it. And then to add on top of that, they had the development piece that I was looking for. Because am I coming back from my last year? Like there's things that I need to have, and that's why I came back. Like development was number one. Wherever I was going to go to, it had to have the opportunity, because I couldn't go to anywhere for depth. I have to be over to get there and go to a team that's looking for a day one guy. So and outside of that, it's just the defense. The defense is also going to allow me to do what I want to do for this last year on top of with the tools that I'm going to be given, like in terms of development wise. And DJ Durkins, his defense. If you watch A&M's defense last year, you got to see what they did on the field, and they were a really attacking defense. They play with high energy, and that's something I really loved. I really wanted to be a part of that kind of defense, and really like since they've been recruiting me, they've been able to show me like the kind of where I would be in the defense. I'd be really a guy that is versatile. Been in my time in college, I played a lot of different positions, like which really adds a lot of value to me. Going to the next level and like in teams that I've been able to talk to, but really being able to use me in different spots, inside, outside, no matter where it's at, but just being a guy that is set up to go attack and make plays. That's what the kind of defense it is, and that's the kind of player I am. So I really love that there. I was able to be very versatile in that defense that DJ Durkin run, and he's had a lot of past success in that defense, especially when it comes to interior D linemen, and that's what I need. That's the kind of defense I wanted to be a part of, and that's the kind of defense I wanted to really like be showcasing in my last year.
What's your current height and weight?
So right now I'm sitting at 6'3", and then my weight has fluctuated from 295 to 300 pounds.
Gotcha. And is that a pretty good spot for you think?
Yes, sir. That's definitely a good spot for me. The highest I'm looking at again is 300,
Yeah.
but I've been in that 95 to 300 range, and that's been my sweet spot for real.
So you'll play primarily, I guess, defensive tackle, maybe some end, I guess, in some situations. Is that kind of what it sounds like?
Yes, sir. So I'll be playing all across the board for real, like wherever they need me, but three tech, 4I, five, like just being able to really show my versatility.
You mentioned Coach V, Vontrell King Williams. He's a guy that was just recently promoted at Auburn and came to Auburn under Jeremy Garrett. Jeremy Garrett went to the NFL, and then Vontrell gets promoted to that defensive tackle position. All the players we talk to love him, love him, love him. I
Oh
know
yeah.
him pretty well, and he's just a really great guy. What how impressed were you with him? I mean, he's a guy that Auburn fans are sort of still trying to get to know because he's relatively new, especially how he recruits and what's his prowess on the recruiting trail. What was it like getting to know him, and what would you tell people in terms of his
And
ability to build a relationship with you?
I mean, I didn't even really see his recruiting once I really got to know who he was and like some of his background. Like I really saw as, I mean, he was just being real. I mean, I love that he was real from the jump, and he really cared about the relationship and really getting to know me and my family. Like ever since he started recruiting me, he recruited my family. He got the time to know my wife, my kids, and I got the time. He really got the time to know me and my background, and like just over time, like I really gonna like know that he was that's just who he was. And then getting up there and seeing how he interacted with everybody and how why everybody felt about him was like, yeah, he's just a great guy. And you want somebody that you can trust, and you want a guy that really cares about his guys like that. So this really getting to see how much he cares about a player on the the personable level. You know what I mean? Like that's something I really love. Like he really cares about you on a personable level, and he's really like a down to earth guy. He's really like he's a hard coach, but he's also cares like he also has like a spot where he can coach you hard, but he can also relate to you on a personal level and really like take the time to get to know you. Sometimes in this business, not everybody cares about who you are. It's just about the football part, but he cares about you on more of outside of the football perspective. So that's something I really loved about him. And he came from a different kind of background, and me, me and him both came from a hard background, and he's able to we're able to like really relate on a lot of stuff, and how he's an overcomer, and he's a guy that always finds ways, and he kind of got the same kind of mindset of me, like never being denied. Like he's been like that his whole life, just being a worker and working for everything he's gotten. And you know, people that he meet along the way, and has opportunity to really like uplift those people. And he really puts himself in them people's shoes, because he done been through a lot of different areas, like different obstacles in life, and he really is the kind of guy that really like treats people how he wants to be treated for real. And that's something that was really big. I really want to be coached by somebody like that. And then somebody that really can, when it talked about the plan that he had for me, he broke everything down how he could develop me. And like I saw that plan and was like, like he can provide me with everything I need for my last year.
Yeah, that's so big. I can imagine your situation. Everybody's situation is different. For you, it's I have 1 year. So the things that are
Right.
important to you are what's the most I can get out of 1 year versus maybe somebody transferring into a program for 3 years that maybe thinks they have more time. You're certainly your priorities are different. So what goes in? So you started at Texas Tech, then you went to Indiana, now Auburn. Kind of take, I guess, what's the journey been like now second time transferring, hopping into the SEC, man, it's a big jump. I mean, that, what you're about to
Right.
get into in the trenches in the SEC. But what went into your jump from Texas Tech to Indiana, and then now, I guess, how excited are you for this last jump into Auburn in the SEC and trying to? I mean, that's the best of the best. We're here on draft night. We're recording this the day of the draft starting. Nobody puts more players into the draft in the SEC, and so you're jumping into the best league in the world when it comes
Yes,
to
sir.
talent, especially in the trenches.
Yes, sir. Man, it has been an amazing journey, man. I started my career at Texas Tech, and that's where I also met my wife and started my family. And you know, I had my time there, and I've learned everything I needed to learn there. My D line coach left after my second year. I had 2 years with him, and then I was with the new staff, which I had an amazing experience with them. But I went I followed my D line coach to Indiana and really got to know that staff, and that was part of the reason I went there. And just I really developed. Like, I really needed to develop. I developed every single year, and I continue to get better every year. And part of the reason I went to the Big Ten because of the trench play. Like, that was like a big factor in why I went there, because I felt like I had something to prove, and I put it all on film. Any doubt that people had, I put it on film. And every year that I didn't been in college, I got better. I didn't continue to grow and continue to get better. Like, my play has been on the rise, every year. And just that staff got fired, and for me, I needed that. All I needed was one more year, because like I could have left this past year and been drafted late, but like I really felt like all I needed was one more year of dominance, and like just continuing to develop before I got to the NFL. And that's why like that's a big reason like I'm going where I'm going. Like, it is, this last year is very, very crucial. And Auburn is going to be able to get me to everywhere I want to go to on a player, like player development wise, and like as a team too. So I'm really excited to play in the SEC, playing against the best of the best. I've already got to play against some of the top offensive linemen in the Big Ten, and this every week was the best of the best trench play, and I love getting another opportunity to do that in the SEC. Whereas every week is you're going against the best of the best, and they're going not just going against the best of the best, but you're going against the best of the best too. So every week you're able to put great things on film, and you got to get an opportunity to go against another guy that's going to be a draft pick too. And I love getting that opportunity and really getting to display that. Like, I love the challenge, because I'm gonna get every week I'm gonna be getting better, and I'm gonna be going against better opponents, and that's what you want. You don't want an easy route. I want the challenge. I want to show what I can do, and there's no better way than show what you can do than to go against the best of the best.
Yeah, I was looking at your stats: 30 tackles last season, 4 tackles for loss, 4 tackles for loss the season before that. So eight and a half tackles for loss and 2 sacks over the last 2 years, and then 30 tackles, which was a career high last season. Looking to build on that at Auburn. How interesting is it from your perspective to come into, so like Auburn has had to rebuild the defensive line? I'm sure they walked you through the depth chart and says, here's kind of where we're at. I mean, Marcus Harris probably going to get drafted tonight, but
Yes,
D
sir.
line was a massive position they had to address. They brought in Tro Carter from Texas and Gage Keys from Kansas in the winter, and then they bring in you. They got Isaiah Rakes coming from USC.
Yes, sir.
All on that defensive line. They brought in an edge player as well. But how interesting is that in this new world where you're going to be stepping in and it's going to, I mean, there's some guys that Auburn recruited as well. There's some youngsters there. There's Bobby Travis and Darren DJ Reed, and there's some youngsters there too. But man, a lot of it's going to be made up of a guy from USC and a guy from Indiana and a guy from Texas and a guy from Kansas trying to do that, all coming into a program that they haven't been in for 3 years. How
Right.
interesting is that from your perspective? Like, when it comes to culture or locker room or just kind of trying to gel together and create the kind of atmosphere you want with guys that come in right off, just come in for a year like yourself. How do you sort of step into that and make it feel like you've all sort of been there and you're all going in one direction, if that makes sense?
I mean, for me, it's really everybody just meeting everybody where they are. Meeting everybody where they are, and then like setting a standard. You set a standard. What do you expect? Everybody wants to be great, but how do you be great? You know, it comes. You got to challenge each other every day. You got to continue to get better every single day. And if anybody's not meeting that standard of being great, you got to pick them up. You got to bring them along. Older guys like me and any guys that's coming in, they've been through this college football process for some time now, and they know what to expect and they know what it takes. And really having older guys in the room like myself is really great when you got younger guys too, you get to bring those guys up and help those guys get ready to play, help those guys transition through this process. And really I think it's great. It's a great thing because iron sharpens iron. We're going to have a lot of competition in the room. We're going to be getting each other better, and that's what you want from a D line room. You want depth, and you want guys that you when one the start is taken out, the guy behind is no drop off. Because everybody's like on that level in the room. And I think that that's what we're definitely going to have in the room, and we're going to get a chance to build that this summer, and build that during camp, and throughout the season. We're going to get better as a D line every single week. It's going to be high competition, high energy, and we're gonna love each other. It's all going to be out of love. We're going to get on each other like it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be so like it's going to stick out like a sore thumb on film. That's what you want from a D line, and it starts with the off season, and we're gonna have plenty of opportunity to build that this summer.
You know, you mentioned, we've I guess this NIL is just this whole new world that we're in, and you talked about having a wife and a child, right? Like how old's your kid, if you don't mind me
So
asking?
my daughter, she's 2.5. She's finna turn 3 July 7th, and then
Nice.
my son, he just turned 1 in January.
Wow. That's awesome. I got a 4.5-year-old girl.
Man,
So I'm right
it's
there with you,
awesome.
man. But like, I just think about this NIL for you. It's just it for specifically when you kind of talked about, sort of having a family, man, that NIL is a totally different. You're looking at that completely different than maybe somebody else who's looking at it. You're always trying to better yourself, but how important or not important was that for you? I mean, you got a family to think about. NIL is new and it's right there and it's legit. And I think it's a legit factor and it should be a factor. I think it's a perfectly valid thing to think about. How big of a factor was it for you, or was it a combination of, yeah, I want that opportunity, but I also want playing time and I also want coaches that I trust? I mean, you want a combination of that, but I
Right.
am curious how NIL plays into somebody like you with a family, like into your thinking about what those opportunities might be like once you get here.
Man, that actually is funny you say that because that question has came up so many times in this process, and for me, NIL is very important, but for me, I don't think that could be the first thing because for me, like being at different schools, like I know at any given program, they're gonna be able to support my family,
Yeah.
and I don't think that I would waste a team's time if they couldn't support my family, like I couldn't do that because you have to be able to do that, which majority of programs are able to do now. Some people can support them better than others, so that was definitely that was a big factor. But I really that if a team didn't have the development piece I was looking for, the defense part that I was looking for, and the culture part that I was looking for, like it couldn't be a conversation.
Yeah.
Because after you get to those main things, and then it comes to, okay, I know you can support my family now. How good can you can support my family? Like, am I going to have to worry about A, B, and C? And if you have to worry about that much things, they can't support your family as well as you need. And then like you have what you like, and then you can do a process of elimination.
Right.
Like you really like for me in my last year as a senior, like I can't worry about being at a school and having to worry about if my family's being taken care of. And I'm not gonna have to worry about that at Auburn. They are able to take care of my family, and they're able to provide all the resources that we need to take care of our kids too. And my wife's not going to have to stress. So that's something that is very vital to me, and so that's something that me and them were able to communicate with one another, and like that piece was there,
That's
and
awesome.
that was a amazing thing. I mean, that was a blessing from God, that's just God taking care of us over and over again. Like I've never been a guy that's made it all about the money. That for me, that's why that conversation has came last every time, because I know that schools are able to do it, but how, like, what are things you can be like, what are ways you can do it, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because everybody can do it, but how can you do it, and how efficient are y'all in that area, and there was no, it was not a worry in that area. So I was really thankful that I really had all those pieces were there, you know.
Um, no, I totally agree. And I think it's interesting to hear different perspectives. Some people might be like, "Hey, I only care about NIL," and that's one way to go about it. But I think probably if the culture's not there and all you care about is NIL, you're probably going to be unhappy. And so it's got to be
Right.
a certainly got to be a combination. I'm curious how different the recruitment was for you, high school and portal, not just how the programs maybe treated you or came after you, but also you're more mature and you're more experienced and you're older. So not just maybe how they came after you differently, but how you viewed your recruitment differently, going back to when you're a high schooler looking at colleges versus portal. Obviously, this year you have 1 year, so there's a bunch of other things that you're thinking about, but just in general, like what are the maybe couple of differences for you, high school recruiting versus portal recruiting?
Man, it's just, I mean, something as simple as I'm a father and this is my last year. I'm a fifth year senior. This is not my first time through it. This is not my first time going through the portal. You know, I made it very clear on every conversation I've had during this portal. I'm looking for these four things. I'm not here to BS around. Like, I'm straight to the point. This is what I need. If you can't provide those things I need, we like I don't want to waste your time and I don't want you to waste my time. You know, I need development. I need our opportunity. I need to be in the correct defense, and the culture piece has to be there. And then we shouldn't even be talking if you can't provide the NIL piece with my family. Like, that's the last piece.
Right.
Like, that's what like like I know that schools are able to do that. You know, like that was straight to the point. You know,
Yeah.
for me is how can you help me elevate in this last year, and how much do you care about the guys that you have in like how much do you care about what you're doing, the guys you have. Like, I kept it straight to the point. You know,
Hmm.
when you talk to a guy and you have that kind of conversation, you know he's about his business, and you know that this is not high. You don't talk to a high schooler and that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, I like at least there's not much high schoolers you can talk to about that conversation. You know, there's a lot of other things that come into play, but this is my last year, and I've been through this process before, and I've been through a lot of different things, and I know what I need. Like, is difference between wants and needs, and I had all my needs lined up, so I didn't have to hear none. Like, I got to sort through all the noise and stuff, and just got to straight to the point. This is what I need. How well can you provide the things that I need? If you can't, I limit my options. If you can, we got to talk and we got to develop a relationship to see how well you can do that, and if this is going to be a place for me.
That makes a ton of sense. Being able to prioritize what's important to you when you're 18 versus when you're, I don't know, 22, wherever
Right.
you're at, 23. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And wants and needs, it's a very astute thing to say. And being able to differentiate between those two is huge. You mentioned, obviously, you talk about your wife. You hear happy wife, happy life all the time.
Hmm.
How big was that? Like, hey, what do you think about Auburn? How big was it? How she felt about Auburn? And you were thinking about other schools, obviously, but what was her impression of Auburn, the place? I don't know if she came on the visit with you, but what was her impressions of Auburn and how
Man,
big was it to get her approval?
man, like that, her approval means everything to me. That's my wife. That's my best friend, and we both are on this journey together. You know, her opinion is just as valid as mine, and her getting to go to Auburn and really, like, just from the jump, like, she got to see the town and got to see the families that were there, and got to see got to get to know the coaches and get to be around the coaches, and like, she just felt at home. You know, and she felt at peace when we left there, and that was something that was big for me because, shoot, me as a man, like, we don't always understand a woman's intuition, you know. And like, she's proven over and over again that intuition is not, it hasn't been wrong, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that she felt that way when she left Auburn, like, she really loved how family oriented it was. She loved she really loved the culture. Like, she's from the South too, and like, Southern hospitality, like you can't get better than that, you know. And she really loved that piece of it. She really loved that. Like she loved everything about it. And then like the funny part is like she loved the defense too. You know, she answers all the right questions. She's in the film room too. Like me and her watch tons of film together, and she asked all the hard questions. She loved how they would use me in the scheme, and I mean she was sold from there. So I from like that, it was an amazing experience for her, and like she got to see everything she needed to see, and like she felt at peace leaving Auburn, and that's something to me that like meant everything, you know.
That's huge. Yeah, that's huge. Did y'all get a chance to go out to eat any good restaurants when you were here?
Oh man, we went to Amsterdam's.
Nice.
We went to this one breakfast spot. I
It's my
forgot what it's called, but it had like big old biscuits there. Yeah, Amsterdam. That
man.
the app. Everything was great there. You
Yeah.
know, I don't think we went to a bad place. I don't think we went to we ate at a bad place. Every food spot we hit was amazing.
There's some good spots. There's some good spots. I'm sure you'll make the rounds at some in some places. So, man, somebody asked on our board when I told them that we were gonna do this interview with you, and they kind of brought up an interesting point. We certainly have talked about how you've now been in now three different programs, but three different conferences: Big
Hmm.
12, Big 10, and SEC. Obviously, you're not here yet, but you know what's coming.
Yep.
Um, I'm interested. It'll be interesting to maybe talk to you after in August fall camp if we get a chance to talk to you and or catch up with you on the phone during the season and know about sort of what you see as the differences in in going from Big 10, Big 12 to Big 10 to SEC. Is there anything that you anticipate? We talked a little bit earlier, but is there anything somebody's told you or that you've just from your watching film that you're like, here's what I think is coming that I don't know that I've faced yet, or here's what I think might be the biggest challenge going against SEC offensive linemen or whatever that maybe I haven't faced yet? Is there anything specific about the SEC that you've heard or watched on film that you're like, here's what I think's coming, and maybe what might be a challenge in terms of an adjustment?
I mean, I've been in different conferences, like you said, and the biggest difference is the trench play.
Yeah.
You know, everywhere is the trench play. You know, like the Big 10, Big 12, the O linemen and D linemen, they're a little bit bigger and it's a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And SEC is very similar to the Big 10. Offensive linemen are a little bit more athletic than the Big 10, you know, but the Big 10 has great offensive linemen too. So I'm going, from what I've heard, is a lot more athletic offensive linemen, which I love the challenge because my game is I'm very athletic too and very explosive, and I just love getting to go against like that kind of competition. You know, that's gonna show me where I need, like where I'm at too. You know, and I mean I'm gonna get to put a god great things on film, but really just that. I mean, when it comes to the skill positions, I've heard a lot of great things about how how faster the SEC is, and I think real similar to the Big 12. Like the Big 12, I went a lot against a lot of great offenses, you know, and the Big 10, I've seen a lot of great defenses, and a lot of really good O lines, big O lines. In terms of the um, the size difference, the Big 10, the SEC is the same. You know, you're gonna go against big O. Like I've been against the Michigan, Ohio State. I've been against the Wisconsin. Like they don't get bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? They don't get.
Yeah.
And those are some of the best offensive linemen that you're gonna like units that you're gonna play in college football too. So like it's real similar. Um, some weeks you're gonna go against better offensive line than others, but I think just the main difference was the athletic a bit like the athletic offensive lineman. I think they said a lot of people said that SEC has a lot more athletic offensive linemen, which I mean it don't, to me I don't think it really matters if you're doing what you need to do. You know, you're doing the right film study you need to do. You are doing what you're coached to do. And when you're doing that, it don't matter what they can do. You know, it's what you're doing to prepare. You know,
So you come down here. I guess you'll report probably May. A lot of these guys will come down. Who did you have a chance to hang out with when you were here and you visited Auburn? Current players. Did you have any guys host you, or did you get to know a little bit?
Man, I got to hang out with Jason.
Yeah.
Jason was a nose guard last year, and then I got to hang out with LJ.
Yep.
He was a transfer from Purdue, but
Yep.
he's a coach now. So
Yep.
I got to hang out with both of those guys, and they were both amazing guys. Both had played there, been here, and they were able to share everything they experienced. And I mean, it was amazing getting to know them, and like we glued from the get go. You know, like we clicked, and really built that kind of chemistry. And I mean, me and Jason gonna be playing with each other a lot this season, so like me and him really were able to connect really easily when we got here. And so I'm really excited to get to meet more of those guys. But those are the guys that I was able to connect with when I was down there.
What'd you think of the facilities and the new football building and all that?
I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing. They have every resource you need as a player to be successful. You know, and they just built those. They just built the all the indoor and the weight room and stuff like that. So it was amazing. Me getting to see what the areas that I have to really be successful as I want to be. Like that really it really says a lot about a program when you see how how great their facility is, because it really shows like how important do they take the the development and the resources that the players are given, you know? Like when you have more things to work with, I mean, you're able to become that more great of a player when you use the things that you have, you know? So I really loved it. I mean, I really I can't wait to be able to have that the access to those things, you know. So
Yeah. Where did you get last your 1 year at Indiana? Did you all go to? Did you go anywhere cool? Did you go to Michigan? Did you go to Ohio State? Did you go to Penn State last year? Where did you go to any nice road environments?
man, so actually the best road environment I didn't actually been is definitely in Penn State. And it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy because it really started off that way, but we actually imposed our will like for majority of the game, and it ended up being started to get quiet, you know, once we started doing our thing. But it was that definitely Penn State. And after Penn State, I would say Michigan was pretty good too. It was that was a good environment, playing in the big house there, and really getting to experience that. But I definitely would say those are the top two for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, um it'll be an awesome experience. Jordan-Hare Stadium's an awesome experience.
Yes, sir.
Those first handful of games are at home, and your first conference games against Oklahoma. So that'll be a familiar
Man, I
foe.
can't wait. I can't wait for that game. I can't wait to really like I can't wait to play in the SEC, man. I've heard a lot of great things about it, and you know, growing up watching the SEC and just all these great teams, and now getting to play on the biggest stage, you know, and really getting to prove everything I can do, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I think they got Jaron Thompson's just transferred to Auburn before the spring. He's from Texas. So him, I don't know who else will have had some familiarity with Oklahoma. And of course, that'll be Oklahoma's first SEC game ever. So that'll be a really big
Right.
one in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Well, let's end on this, man. What is your message kind of to the fan base? I think it's really interesting. The portal, high school, man, you'd follow all the fans. They would follow a guy's recruitment maybe for a year and a half. They'd read stories about him, and then he's at Auburn, and then he red shirts maybe. And you have a bunch of time to get to know a guy. Portal's just different. It's just guy, like yourself, you're going to come, you're going to be here for 1 year. They don't always have an opportunity to get to know some of these guys, which is kind of a bummer
Sir.
because I think that's kind of one of the more fun things. What should they know about you? Like, what would you say if you're talking to Auburn fans? What are you about? What can they see on the field? Like, what can they expect to see from you on the field?
I mean, they're gonna they should expect to see somebody that really loves the game. I really love this game, person. So like on when we after we win, like I'm gonna celebrate with them. You know, I'm really big on that. This expect to be on Tomb's corner a lot because there's gonna be a lot of winning going on this year. And I can't wait to really get to experience that tradition with them. And I've heard a lot of great things about the Auburn fans, and I heard if you love Auburn, they love you back. And I just can't wait to be around that and be in that kind of atmosphere. And for me, like, fans are a big part of games, and when you get to when they create a hostile environment for the other team, and like you can really see the love that they have for y'all, and you really feed off that, you feed off that when you're on the field, and it's just amazing. It's an amazing thing. So getting to know me, I'm a big people's person. Like, I can't wait to really like connect with the fans. Whether it's at events, you're gonna see me in public a lot. Me and my family gonna be out. We're gonna be at parks. We're gonna be going to try out different places. I just love getting to interact with the fans. I'm real personable guy. I'm an easygoing person. I love to grill. I really love to cook. When me and my wife, we cook a lot. So we might, if we end up doing a little family cooking show, just y'all tuning in that,
That'd be
because
nice.
that might be something might be talking about. The kids gonna be at a lot of parks and stuff like that. So we gonna be really active in the community too. We want to really big on giving back too. So definitely y'all gonna see a lot of us, and we can't wait to get to know you guys, and we can't wait to get this thing rolling. This gonna be a big year. I'm expecting big things. We are bringing in the right pieces that we need to add to the team, and our team is going to continue to get better every single week. And it starts in this off season. So I'm really excited to get to know y'all as a fan base. I'm already getting to feel some love from y'all, and I'm really excited for this year.
Well, I mean, from talking to you, I mean, you're going to fit right in. Not just to the community in Auburn, the fan base, but I can see why you were so high on their list in terms of culture and what you're about to. I know what Hugh Freeze is trying to build. He's very very cognizant of trying to bring the right people in and build the right culture, and it's pretty clear to see why you were so wanted by them. I think you'll be an awesome fit. Have you caught up with anybody like Isaiah Rakes or it was funny like you and Rakes like same day, back to back days, whatever. Did you know that y'all were gonna that was gonna happen?
Yeah, I actually did know. Me and
Yeah,
him have talked. We It was actually our first time talking the other day. But he's a really cool dude. We're not too far from the same area. In Jersey. We both Jersey boys. We really both excited to get to work. You know. So me getting to know him a little bit. We're gonna be playing together a lot. So I mean, this is gonna be an exciting year for us, and this is a great year for Auburn football. And I think with the pieces that we're bringing in, I think people are starting to get to see that. You know, so yeah, we cannot wait to bring a lot to this program. This is gonna be a big year. So Isaiah, he's excited too. I don't know if y'all been able to talk to him, but he's really excited. We're excited to work together on this defense, and we're excited to be a vital piece on this defense, adding a lot of energy and adding a lot of grit into this defense. So there's a lot gonna be going on. Like, we excited. Two Jersey boys coming in.
that's awesome. Well, you got a chance to be a part of the turnaround. I mean, Auburn's in that sort of transition phase. Lot of talents come in the last 2 years, so you got an opportunity to really be a part of a team that starts to put Auburn back on the map in a big way. Obviously, they've had tons of success over the years, but this year's is a pivotal one. So you got a chance to be a part of something special for sure, man. Well,
Yes, sir.
dude, I appreciate you joining us, man. Phil, so much. I know that you'll be active on social, and fans are going to be loving you and interacting with you and all that good stuff, man. I appreciate your time. Can't wait for you guys to get down here, be a part of the community. You're going to fit right in and love it, man. And we look forward to seeing you out there. I'll see you out there probably in August when fall camp starts, man,
Yes, sir.
and we'll get it cranking.
Man, I appreciate you having me on the show, Justin. Man, it's been amazing. It's been a pleasure, man. I can't wait till this year. I mean, we're gonna chop it up again, but I'm really excited to get to work with y'all. So this is gonna be a great year. Y'all just be ready to decorate that Toombs corner, man. It's gonna be a lot of that going on. So I'm really excited for this opportunity. I'm really excited.
There you go. We'll
Yes,
catch up
sir.
again soon, man.
All
Appreciate
right, you have a great day.
you too, man. And go to auburnlive.com for everybody watching. Subscribe to and go to the YouTube channel. Subscribe, turn on the notifications, all that good stuff. We'll see you over there. For Phil, I'm Justin Hokanson. We'll see you next time. Bye.